So at 20 degrees Celsius, that's roughly room temperature, the density of air is given to us as 1.2 grams per liter. Nitrogen has a density that's slightly less, and oxygen has a density slightly more. Question is, will balloons filled with oxygen and balloons filled with nitrogen rise or sink in the air? So it's not about how heavy or light something is, but rather the density of a substance that determines whether it will sink or float on top of other substances. All right, let's start. So air is what we're comparing it to. All right, and since air has a density of 1.2, nitrogen will, all right, let's add some color here. Nitrogen balloons will float, or rise rather, because it has a lower density. Things that are less dense will rise with their gases over gases that are more dense will sink. All right, and then we have air. I'll just do that like there. Air has a density of 1.20, and then the oxygen will sink. Let's do that in red. That oxygen balloon will be on the ground, O2, because it's denser, 1.33 grams per liter. Oh, there's another part. So let's move on to B. Air is mainly a mixture of nitrogen and oxygen. Yep, true. Which gas is the main component? All right, well, air is 120. So 120, and oxygen is 133. And nitrogen is 117. So the difference between air, which is a mixture of both N2 and O2, okay, that average, or it's not an average, but it's a weighted average, but the air's density is only 3 away, right, away from the density of nitrogen, and 13 away from the density of oxygen. So it's much closer to the density of nitrogen. So therefore you can say air is mostly made up of nitrogen, or at least more than the oxygen. And actually it turns out our air is about 78% nitrogen and about 21% oxygen. And then the rest is like a little bit of carbon dioxide and other gases.